Series of Unfortunate Events spoilers. In this video, I'm going to be talking primarily about Book 10, which has not been adapted by Netflix yet. So even if you have seen all of the episodes of the TV show, I am about to start throwing out some spoilers for things that are probably going to happen in Season 3 in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Abby, it's Friday, and about the title, Sweater Boi is just my unofficial nickname for Quigley Quagmire. Don't ask. So, for those of you who haven't read the books, but are still watching this video anyway, I need to contextualize some things. So, our main characters, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire, they're orphans. In the 5th book, they meet these other two orphans named Duncan and Isadora Quagmire, except they didn't just lose their parents, they also lost their triplet brother, Quigley, so now they are still triplets, even though there's only 2 of them. Then we get to Book 10, and it turns out that Quigley is still alive, and he and Violet and Klaus spend a bunch of time living together in these, freezing mountain peaks, and things get very cute very quickly. I was getting the vibe that Quigley had a crush on Violet from, the second he showed up, because he has a line very early on in the scene where he's like, I've heard a lot about the inventions of Violet Baudelaire, and now I get to see him in action. And, then later on, the group is trying to decide, how they want to split up, and Quigley's like, oh, Klaus, you take my notebook and go do whatever it is that you're researching. Violet, let's you and me climb up this gigantic frozen waterfall where we can be together, alone, for a long time. Where your brother can't overhear us, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Honestly, Sweater Boi got game. I wasn't sure if this was going to be, developed into, a major plot point, or if it was just going to be, heavily implied throughout the story and then maybe resolved at the end. But, no, this author went for it, full-on went for it, and I freaking love it. There's a scene where the 2 of them are, sitting on the side of a mountain, looking out at the tundra. Is tundra the right word for this scenario? I don't know. And then Violet's, looking at it, and she's like, oh, Quigley, isn't it beautiful? Can you see where this is going yet? And then Violet turns, and Quigley's like, yeah, it's beautiful, but he ain't looking at no tundra. And I am, holding the book in my hands like this, rocking back and forth in my chair, trying not to cause a scene in the middle of math class so that people don't think that I'm weird. And then Snicket abruptly cuts away from the scene, and he says, Violet Baudelaire has had very few moments of privacy in her entire life, so I'm just going to give her this. He took a scene that was already causing me to basically hyperventilate in my chair, and he made it even cuter. Is this where it all starts for people? But no, seriously, this Violet and Quigley ship is the closest I have come to being invested in any of these characters that are not Lemony Snicket. Because, from the bad beginning, I have just had this premonition that the orphans are going to die at the end, so I never bothered getting attached to them as characters, and the only character that I, felt the need to get attached to was Snicket, because I doubted that he would die at the end, because he's the one telling the story. But then again, I said this to one of my friends, and she just sort of laughed nervously at me, and looked away, and this particular friend has a notorious track record for horrible poker faces when it comes to book spoilers. If Snicket dies at the end, I'm going to be so sad. You literally don't understand, guys. But on that note, Abby, Violet, and Sweater Boi are adorable, and I will see you tomorrow.